Welcome back. If you're just tuning in and missed a conversation with Catherine Walker about the Army Soldier Show, you can find it as well as past episodes of MWR Life on Air on youtube.com/Fort Campbell 101. With me now is Ryan Bowie from the Roxy Regional Theater. Welcome back to the show, Ryan.
Thank you.
So a big summer has been going on down at the Roxy. I just saw the Marvelous Wonderettes. It was super.
Were they marvelous?
They were marvelous.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And I understand that there's more shows with them, so you really need to think about bringing some others back. There's a winter show. There's a guy version show from the same writer. So I want to see more of that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a show featuring 4 guys. It's called Life is But a Dream.
Right.
That they have one girl in that as well, but it's about a guy group singing the 50s, 60s music. So.
Well, and they reference that guy group in the girl group show. So you've just got to go see this stuff because it's ongoing. But now it's time for big summer blockbuster.
South Pacific.
Tell us what's going on down there, how we can get tickets, what's important and special about the show.
Yeah, it opens Friday, July 12th. And that is our Pay What You Can night. So any tickets that are left at 7:30 that evening are up for grabs at any price. It's a great deal that we bring to the community for all of the openings for our main stage performances. I say all, but most of them, so you always want to check. But I know that tickets are selling really well for that opening night, so we may have to bump that Pay What You Can night to a different evening, but we will make sure that we offer that to the community. I hope that it's a show that is received by the community. Everybody loves Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Of course.
So, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And it's quite an undertaking to put on a production of this size, but you always have sort of a big summer blockbuster musical at the end of the summer, something everyone recognizes, but I always think of those pieces as probably the hardest to put on. Largest casts?
Largest casts. I think that also, there's a lot of preconceived notions about these shows, and so we have expectations to live up to and make sure that we're casting the right performers to take on these roles. And yes, we always end the season with a big blockbuster musical, and then it always seems that we start the season with a big blockbuster musical, so it's one right after the other.
Begin as you mean to end.
That's right.
That's what they tell you to do.
That's
but
right.
So we'll talk about that, what's coming up next, but let's talk specifically about South Pacific. How many weeks is it going to run?
It runs just about 7 weeks, so it opens July 12th, so it's a long run, and there's performances Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. Those are also our buy one, get one free for anyone that brings their military ID that night.
That's a wonderful deal.
Yeah. And then Fridays and Saturdays at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
any matinees planned at all?
There is a matinee on Saturday, July 20th at 2 p.m., and that's the only matinee for the run of the show. So if you want to see a matinee at 2 o'clock and not have to worry about finding parking in the evening, make sure that you get your tickets early for that matinee.
I have to tell you, though, every time I come down to the show, I really don't have a hard time finding parking as if I was in a city center.
Right.
I think that, again, managing expectations. I used to drive an hour to work, and now I don't want to drive to Nashville because it seems too far. So it's kind of the same thing as if you've never lived in a large city and really dealt with parking problems. Right. We don't have parking problems. You just need to look a little harder. There are spaces out there, and honestly, they're not expensive or they're free for the most part.
And after 5 o'clock or on the weekends, it's going to be free. So don't worry about feeding the meters or anything like that. Just find the best parking space for you. And
you might not be able to park in Franklin, but there's certainly a number of other roads around there that you can find a place. And hey, walking's healthy, and you might pass a cool restaurant you want to stop at or coffee shop afterwards. Now, barbecue. You usually do a summer barbecue. Tell us, are you going to do one this summer?
We are. It is actually on that same Saturday as the matinee. So we will have the matinee at 2 o'clock, and then we will have the barbecue between 6 and 6:30. It's a fundraiser for the Performing Arts Center, the new Center for Arts and Education. And then with that barbecue and the fundraiser price, you get to see the evening performance of the show at 8 o'clock.
So it's kind of like a package.
It is.
And you're doing something good for the theater, and you're having a full tummy, and
yeah,
that all works out well. What happens, though, as we get later in the summer and South Pacific is over? I mean, we've got the 31st season to look forward to.
We do.
You mentioned another musical.
Yep. We're doing Spamalot, the musical, the Monty Python Spamalot.
Everybody's going to love that, too.
I know. It's good. It's going to be awesome.
Now, you often have people come in and stay for a number of shows. Has your cast sort of carried over from one show to another here?
It has. We kind of started with a large cast during Peter Pan, and many of those men left while we were doing Marvelous Wonderettes, and several of them have come back for South Pacific and will stay on for Spamalot as well. So that's exciting, and it's good to be able to work with some of the same people over and over again. 3 of our girls from the Marvelous Wonderettes have stayed on to be in South Pacific, and they'll be in Spamalot as well. And we're trying to find places for them to fit, throughout the 31st season. a lot of them, they come and they really start to enjoy Clarksville and
fall in love with our town.
Exactly, exactly. And one of the biggest things that they always say is, people are just so nice here.
Well, they are.
And people are coming from New York, and I came from New York, and it's true. You can really walk down the street and be recognized and be waved at and greeted and that sort of thing. And I think that people really love that Southern charm when they come to Clarksville and the Roxy.
Well, and it's, when you're living that lifestyle, when you're traveling and going out and getting cast in places, you just don't ever feel like you have a home.
Right.
And it's nice to have a home for a little while, and then you're ready to move on to another one. But I think that we really do make this a home for our performers when they're here. And you get some amazing talent. I mean, when you go to New York and audition people for these shows, you're getting some talent the likes of which Clarksville would never otherwise see.
Oh, of course. South Pacific, if we're talking about that. Alicia Kelly, who was here, I think we figured it out about 3.5 years ago. It was right before I came here. She was here for almost a year, and she's back playing Nellie Forbush. She was just finished the Royal Caribbean cruise line. She was in their production of Chicago. That cruise line has a Broadway series, Rock of Ages and Chicago and several other productions that the Broadway teams are casting, and then they put them on the high seas. So she's here playing Nellie, and then the day after we close, she goes back because she was recast in that same role for the cruise line. For the next 10 months. So we're excited to have her and that it worked into her schedule the way that it did. And then through a friend of mine, through an opera company in Texas, the Fort Worth Opera Company, we were looking for an Emile DeBeck, and that's very specific. And you want someone that's not too old, but old enough to be believable.
Right.
And we have John Baer is his name. He is a baritone. You can actually find him if you go onto a website. It's called barahunks.com. He's on there. But he has been traveling all over the country with opera companies, and he is here, and we heard him sing last week when we started rehearsals, and it's just glorious. I mean, it's beautiful. So come and see the great talent that we have on stage, and talent that you can stay in your own backyard and not have to go all the way to Nashville to see.
I know. Isn't that brilliant? I mean, we have this amazing performance, and then, we're 10 or 15 minutes away, and there's great restaurants downtown.
Yep.
You can make an evening out of it, and gas is expensive. Yeah. Save your money and spend it in Clarksville.
Right.
Yep. Any other tips for us? What's coming up for the children? What do we have looking forward to? School's getting ready to start soon.
I know.
And there's got to be, shows for the kids during the school day, right?
Yeah. We will be starting our School of the Arts program back up in September when school starts and we start our new season. So that's on Saturdays. And you can come down and take acting classes and dance classes and voice classes. We're going to have the Zing Hoppers that are based out of Nashville. They're actually a TV show on the public television, and they will be performing for 2 weekends in Clarksville.
Wow, that's huge.
The Great Gatsby will be for school performances. We also have A Year with Frog and Toad coming up to round out 2013 for us at the holiday season. That's perfect for kids of all ages. So, our main focus, and it's something that we told this new cast, our main focus is education, and education through the arts. And that's what we're here to do.
And especially in times when schools don't have the money to put an effort into that in the school every day. If you can be a program that offers it to the school, all you have to do is come to us and we will deliver it.
Yeah.
I mean, it still keeps it and you've got to grow that audience. You have to give it to the young and become a lifetime lover of the arts.
That's right.
And that's what's so important to keeping a tradition like this going. Every year I say there's no way they can top that season next year, and every year you do. So, I look forward to getting started with the 31st season, but before that, we'll be down to see South Pacific.
It will be a joy for everyone. I'm thrilled to be putting it on.
And don't forget, 2 for 1 on Wednesday and Thursday for military. That's a huge cost savings.
Yeah.
And, you could take that money and go eat at Edwards. So, there's something to do there. But where could people get information if they're looking for, times, dates, prices of performances?
The best place to go is our website, roxyregionaltheater.org. You can also like us on Facebook. We put a lot of information. If we have last-minute tickets available, it's kind of your ready-to-go space, as Facebook is, to find out all of the instant information. You can also call our box office. Katie is fantastic, and she will answer any question you have about the Roxy and downtown Clarksville. And you can reach her at 931-645-ROXY. That's 7699. and she'll help you out.
And that's from 9 to 2.
9 to 2,
box
Monday through
office
Friday.
hours. And if you're going to the website, it's theater spelled the
fancy way.
That's right. And the last thing I got to tell you about Katie, she knows where I like to sit. When I say it's Melissa Schaffner calling, she knows what aisle, what seats I want, and that is the kind of service that you want. And you can only get that in Clarksville.
That's right.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
All right.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Fort Campbell's Gear to Go is your one-stop shop for equipment rental needs. We are the premier facility for leisure time and party rentals too. We have equipment from boats and campers to motorcycle trailers and garden equipment. If you're moving across town, Gear to Go has the equipment to make the transition easy. We have trucks, vans, and SUVs. Gear to Go also has car haulers, cargo trailers, and dollies. Want to rent a boat but you don't have a big truck to pull it? We offer a 10% discount when renting a vehicle with a towable item, so you can take one of our boats out for a weekend of fun in the sun. We also have all the party gear that will make your next backyard bash the talk of the neighborhood. Gear to Go has inflatables and bouncers such as obstacle courses and water slides. We also have chairs, tables, grills, and even dunking booths. We offer an extreme party package that includes 2 inflatables plus our climbing wall for just one low price. Contact us at 270-798-3919 or visit our website at fortcampbellmwr.com. Your one-stop equipment and party rental shop. That's Gear to Go. Call or stop by today. Fort Campbell MWR, serving soldiers, families, retirees, and civilians.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned to MWR Life on Air. If you would like more information on family and MWR events and activities, you can check out our website or Facebook page. Pick up the latest copy of the MWR Family, Single Soldier, or Retiree Life magazines. Call our 24-hour recorded information line or join our text club by texting the letters MWR to 68683. You can listen to our radio programs on 1400 AM at 8 a.m. or 105.1 FM at 8:30 a.m. on Friday mornings. The program is also rebroadcast on Fridays at 12:30 p.m. on 1400 a.m. You can listen to Talk with Tara every Friday from 10 to noon on 1400 a.m. and Airstrike with Sergeant Joe Padula at 1 p.m. These are both on 1400 a.m. To receive weekly information to your inbox, please go to fortcampbellmwr.com and click on the MWR e-News icon. This will take you to the MWR e-News registration page, and you'll start receiving the electronic newsletter the following week. I'm Melissa Schaffner. Thanks for watching MWR Life on Air. We're supporting soldiers, families, retirees, and civilians with quality of life, events, and activities. We are your network of services. We'll see you next week.